So, in the pre-game lobby for Game 1, I told Ooh and Helmets, I said in the lobby chat, I want this to have like 3 80-minute games, so I can build my caster stamina. I'm regretting that request now, but that's okay. So I'm still gonna take you through game number 3. Ooh versus Helmets. These teams fighting tooth and nail to advance to the next stage. It's just such a great series to watch, man. Both of these teams picking these fighting lineups and just playing them wonderfully. These matches are decided by moments and minute decisions. Last game, it was the spearbacks, you know? It was the instant Rubik's deals on the hooks. It was these small little plays in the team fights that just add up to so much. And that's the best kind of Dota. Alright? Anyone can watch a game where 2 teams pick heroes and then 1 team snowballs. And you know, those games are good. Those games are good Dota. Yeah, I'm not bashing those games, but I love the exciting matches of Dota. And that's what we are getting here. Gone through some bands. Clockwork, we're not going to see him make an appearance. Unsurprising that Hero's done so much in this series so far. First pick that we're going to see, a Jakiru. Oh god, guys. I think we're in for another wild one. Oh, baby. But you love it. You love to see it. It's just...
10 seconds.
Mwah! Something special about this kind of Dota. The Rubik, Radio Foot. We're gonna see it again. This man played an incredible game last game on the hero. And we're getting another. We're getting another. Both of these teams with these 2 opening picks are telling me, sorry, Matcast, you're stuck. You're gonna have to talk fast and talk loud for both of these games. Or for the third game, for all 3. Night Stalker. Okay, he's a hero with timing windows. We can relax a bit. He likes fighting at nighttime. That's only half the game, and then his ultimate. That's like 3/4 of the game that he can fight. Good.
10 seconds remain.
Good. I'm happy.
5 seconds remain.
Come on, Helmets. I'm excited. I want to see something crazy. Because that's what we're getting this game.
Radiance turn to ban.
Mars! More team fight! It is cooldown dependent, but ultimately Arena's not super long cooldown. So, you know, both teams quite willing to fight quite often here. Once again, unsurprisingly. Oh man, we're bashing rocks together to see which rock is stronger.
5 seconds.
Like, y'all ever have, like, Skittles? And, like, you take 2 Skittles and you, like, crush them against each other. And the one that breaks first, you eat the weaker of the 2. And you, like, take another Skittle and try again. Put them up against the previous champion. That's what we're doing. Is we're crushing the Skittles that our helmets on, and ooh! We're crushing them together. To see which one will break first. Right now, neither of them are breaking. It's a battle of the ages. I'll tell you something else, man. I didn't think I was going to be able to cast this match. I said I had something starting at 9, so I wouldn't have been able to cast this match. But it got canceled. And boy, am I glad it did.
5 seconds remain.
Sorry, Eli, if you're listening. Sorry, I said I'm glad your tabletop RPG session got canceled. But what a series this has been. Holy moly. We're entering the second stage of bans. Ember Spirit banned out. Phoenix banned out. Woo! This is going fast. Unorthodox again. Anti-Mage is a pretty traditional ban here. Sven's still in the pool. I would be very surprised. Well, actually, you know what? After last game, maybe they don't ban it. Maybe they just let it go, as it were.
10 seconds remain. 5 seconds.
We're going to see the final ban from OOOOOOO here. Both teams burning a lot of reserve time fairly early here. Usually we see it like about a minute here after the final pick. Already down to 30 seconds on OOOOOO, and minute 25 is a bit more standard for helmets here.
Dyer's turn to ban. Dyer's turn to pick.
May choose to ban out that Lone Druid again, so maybe worry that Helmets has the pocket pick, but they've already taken their pocket pick, dude. This Rubik is insane. And ouch Kabibbles on the Mars too. Had an excellent performance last game.
5 seconds remain.
So both of these heroes seem very powerful to me. Do they even need the Lone Druid? But there are a lot of carries in the pool. Will they elect to take the Sven? Importantly as well, Spectre in the pool. Spectre is, I believe, probably on the same power level as Sven. So I'm very surprised to see that hero make it through the ban list. And since both teams have denied access to it, I wonder if they're gonna just sort of let it slip. Like I don't want to say forget about it, but it's one of those things where you assume the hero's unavailable, so you just don't even think about it. It is available for both teams. I just say I love how they have the tags up. Dark Willow, what a solid pick. Combos very well to Mars Arena, obviously. Good lockdown, makes it harder for Night Stalker just to run at you. I like Dark Willow a lot. Very high skill hero. Gonna piss some people off. Low skill floor. I guess traditionally people would say high skill floor. That's a conversation we don't have time for right now. But the point is, if you don't know how to play Dark Willow, she's not great. But I'm assuming they know how to play Dark Willow. Disruptor, though, also an excellent pick. Adds a lot of catch, adds a lot of disable, a lot of slow. No stuns, obviously, but kinetic field is just as good as one.
Radiant must choose.
And look at that, Helmets will take the Spectre. A terrifying pickup, if I'm being honest. Just so good right now. The fact that you can play Spectre, farm the other side of the map, and still involve yourself in fights, terrifying, like I said. And now they'll have to deal with the fact that there's a Spectre on the enemy team. How will they do so? We saw yesterday, I keep saying yesterday, we saw Thursday, it get countered out by a Medusa, but that hero's been removed from the pool. We'll have to see what kind of carry they're going to pick up here. There is a Sven, but I'll be honest, after the last game, I think you're scared of Sven. And they'll take a Slark. Okay. A solid choice. The Purge is very good. He's able to leap out of the Mars arena. I'm 90% sure someone in chat will in 5 minutes a chat message will pop up and say, "No, Matt Cuth, you're an idiot. He can't." But I think he can. And yeah, I think he's okay. Hitting into Mars, he's kind of one of those heroes that doesn't mind Bulwark because you're stealing so much agi. But I still think late game Spectre will win this. The Huskar ban out too. The Huskar did quite a bit in the early game, but obviously he made plays in the mid to late game. But he didn't feel like the crux of the draft. He didn't feel like the key to it. I don't think Helmets is going to be particularly upset at the ban. I think other heroes could do the same thing that he did, and they won't feel any suffering from it. But you lost to it, so ban it. Never a bad idea. Also ban out the Invoker, but the DP ban out from Helmets. They did lose to it. As I just said, if you lose to it, ban it. Now we enter the final set of picks. Both teams very short on reserve time. Only 7 seconds for OOOOOOO. They're going to have to establish very quickly what they want.
5 seconds.
As they run out of reserve time here, the pick coming very shortly. They will elect to take a Necrophos. Not a bad choice. Does a lot of damage, a lot of magical damage, has a lot of sustain. So, could be very powerful. The thing is, though, is Dark Willow can still damage you through that Ghost Shroud. And it's a lot of damage. Now it's time for Helmets to select the last pick of the series. Oh, man. I'm excited to see. They'll take the Zeus, so more magic damage. Necrophos has to be very careful. Okay, let's talk about drafts real quick. I think, once again, it comes down to fights, just like the previous games. Both teams are very capable of getting good damage and really winning a fight. But there's a caveat to that. Much like Dota Plus, I think I will give plus 10% to Helmets for having Spectre. I give the edge to Helmets this game. But if Slark takes off in a major way, I mean, he could crush the game before Spectre's able to be Spectre. Also, there is a lot of catch for Zeus. It's going to be a very dicey Zeus game. Not dicey, but you have to position very carefully on Zeus this game, but we've seen Blinky position carefully on other heroes, so. Now we know why, the thing with casting is now I know why they always go through and give all 3 panelists time to analyze what team they think's going to win, because strategy time is pretty long. But yeah, I think we got another joy of a game on our hands. I'm so excited to see what Stretchy's going to do on this Willow. He played an amazing clock last game. I'm so excited to see Magoo on the Jakiro. Zucifer's been doing work. BDC's played excellent carry. Everyone's been playing such good Dota.
Just what I needed.
Now we're talking.
But I'm real excited to watch. I have to say, my most hype here is definitely the Radio Foot and Ouch Kabibbles show. Mars Spearbacks last game were exquisite, as were the Rubik plays. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Prepare yourselves for the main event.
So no real surprises this game. It is going to be the offlane Night Stalker with the 4 Disruptor, Magoo BDC in the bottom lane, and Zucifer in the mid lane on the Necrophos. Then we have the obvious Zeus mid with the clear Spectre safe lane. Obviously, you see Rubik and you think 4, but clearly it's 5 with the Dark Willow, and with the fact that Radiofoot is the 5 player, yeah, you gotta have stretchy arms too. On the Willow, with the offlane Mars, so no surprises. Mars might have a bit of a tough time. Usually, tanky offlaners are a disaster to play against Slark, but they got some good push. So, oh god! Got so much to go through.
The quest for ultimate glory.
We got a whole game ahead of us, guys. Sorry if I'm getting a little delirious. It'll clean itself up here as we get into the game. You know, when I have such high quality Dota put in front of me, it breaks me a bit when the Dota stops. But now we're back into it, as Radiofoot might be in a lot of trouble. There is very good damage into him, and there isn't going to be... It's going to be so close. I don't think they're going to get it. 1 second, Radiofoot pops the salve, and unfortunately, the Night Stalker Q don't even know the name of Void. A boring name. The Void's not enough to get him the kill, but it does stop the salve, meaning that Radiofoot's going to have a real tough time in this. In the mid lane, we have the Necro Zeus lane. Zeus is going to farm, and I have to imagine Necro's going to farm. Necro has good sustain, but on the flip side, Zeus may be able to get a good kill with his ability. Does depend on the build-up, obviously, as Zeus nowadays tend to get more points in the Arc Lightning than the Lightning Bolt. Meanwhile, up top, Radiofoot almost goes down. But yeah, I think it's gonna be tough. The wand is already available for Zeus. Oh no, Zucifer versus Zeus. That might be a problem. Ooh, stretchy arms. Taking 2 towers. Hate to see it. But yeah, I think it depends on the build, but I find it... either could get a kill. I find it more likely that we'll see a Zeus kill than a Necro kill. Because the only way Necro gets a kill is with multiple Death Pulses. But he also sustains himself just fine with that Heart Stopper, so... I don't think we'll see too much. Down bottom. Stretchy arms. Maybe the first blood. Nope. Now, actually, Magoo has to be a bit careful. The push back into the pin. It is there. They have damage. Stretchy arms forced to run away. Probably going to die, but just delaying time. And actually, Magoo, with the dual breath, will get the first blood and the liquid fire. And now, BDC is doing a pretty good job on getting onto Ouchkabibbles, but he is more than happy to beat back into his opponent here. Does get juked out. And once Radiofoot hits level 3, I don't think they have kill potential with the Spectre, but you have to be a little careful. That zap does a lot of damage. That Zeus getting all the last hits. His bottle, I do believe, being sent out to him. No. Mango and a null tally. So not quite. Been taking a lot of damage, but so is Dr. Changstein, who's actually playing the carry, and I've just now realized this. It must have been a one-off when it was Void on Blinky. Not the other way around. Okay! Be careful, Magoo. Fortunately, the spear wasn't there to follow it up. No mana on the Mars, and even if he did, not having mana for both abilities is a little bit tough. love to see... Oh, actually, hold on. Stretchy Arms is taking a lot of damage. Gonna say, I'd love to see, Bassi, a Ring of Basilius in this lane. Bassi's just such a good item. I think 4 should pretty much always pick it up. And Mars likes to build into a Vlad's anyways. So he actually does have it. Okay, excellent. He's heard my request and has sent the item out. Wow, look at this helmet so far. They're winning in all 3 lanes right now. That's what you love to see. I think he will take a bit of damage, but ultimately I don't think he's going to mind too much. And oh no, you just have to go for the deny, Zeus. Don't try and pick it up. Actually, it could be disastrous for him. One more right click should seal the deal. Zeusifer will get the kill, get the stacks, heal himself back up to full. Now has a cloak too. So suddenly, I said Zeus would have to position, you'd have to make a big misplay in positioning to get killed, and looks like he unfortunately did just that. Now the lane is pretty heavily Necrophos favored. That one kill, I think Necro's going to come out well on top. And look at this too. Meanwhile, as well, in the bot lane, they do get the latch onto Stretchy, but I don't think they're going to get a kill out of this one. Actually, a lot of damage going on to the Radiant side of things. So these lanes are starting to change up a bit. We're seeing the mid lane start to go better and better. Spectre's not even farming too great. Oh no, Stretchy Arms doesn't get the deny either. But I do believe we're going to see Radiant get 3 bounty runes here. Does look like that will be the case, but Spectre getting that much needed farm. Slark the real loser so far of these lanes. It's hard to farm into a Mars, and he does have really good pushback. So usually, like the Underlords and stuff you're okay with because you can just beat into them, but less so with Mars. Mars can push you away and deal big damages. They're unfortunately going to miss that last hit, but should be able to rendezvous with the creeps. Yeah, looks like that'll work out just fine for him. Just real quick, I want to see... Oh, whoops. Oh, look at that. They're already starting to take a pretty significant lead from this mid lane, and now he's going to be able to get some possible stacks and start farming up heavily off of those stacks. But Zeus will get the 6-minute bounty rune. It is a haste. Is he going to look for a kill? He doesn't have any points in the lightning bolt. As actually a radio foot. He's going to be the one in trouble. Tries to get the pushback on the wind. It is nighttime now. Wind is diving. It looks like he will manage to get the kill. There's not going to be any trade-off yet. And actually his courier will go down too. Blinky is here. But honestly, an interesting decision. Just sends Stretchy Arms back to the bottom lane. I don't think he minds that at all. He shows up, gets the assist, and goes home. I say home. Goes back to his lane. Now, BDC does have to be a little bit careful. If they get good damage into him, Zeus does have an ultimate and does have mana for it. He's only level 4, so no way to recuperate that lost HP just yet. In fact, look at this. Chang's team also taking a lot of damage, but this is suddenly bad for Wind. Where's the Zeus ultimate? 215 HP, no mana now. He could pop the bottle for it. Going to pop the ultimate. He will, and he'll get the kill. And also, that will result in a kill onto Jakiro as well. So that Zeus ultimate does get them 2 kills, and BDC has to be quite careful. Does have a salve queued up. Gonna have to wait and see if that salve makes it. Look at this positioning from Stretchy, doing a great job potentially catching these couriers. And oh no, radio foot, not like this, not like this. No, he didn't. I don't know why I saw a TP on the screen. He will get the lift back, and actually he may be able to get out thanks to Stretchy Arms with a beautiful Cursed Crown and Brambling Maze combination. Whoops. Will prevent his Rubik from dying. Now Zeus has to be the careful one. Oh no, his courier, I think it's going to go down, and indeed it will. I do believe he got his item before, so he has that going for him at least. Meanwhile, but look at this Mars. I think Mars is just dead.
Dire structures are fortified.
As he dies to a Jakiro. He feels like he has to be very careful into this DD, and rightfully so. There is a Rubik behind. May be able to get something here.
There is little hope for
Nope, it looks like he's just going to walk out. He still has no points in the Ghost route. Rubik will just put down the Obs Ward. Stick charges are just being delivered to Zucifer, so he is A-okay with how that's going. And oh no! I think that was probably a leap out, judging from the cooldown. But the Mars ultimate will fail. Dire feels like they're having some unfortunate situations in all of their lanes right now, which isn't what you want in this third game. Now, the level 6 is available, the Dark Pact. But he hasn't taken the point yet. He's already spent it, actually. So, feels totally safe now that Mars has popped that ultimate to instead get a level in the Dark Pact. Whoops. Doesn't have a point in Shadow Dance. But now, look at this. Radiant are taking an early tier 1. Zeus is trying to push out mid, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. 10-minute bounties. Magoo has to be very careful. Does get rooted, and now forced to back away. The first round will pop, but I don't know if you can chase on the side of Dart. They will, and they'll get the pullback. Watch Kabibbles will be able to secure the kill with the spear, but now Fire is here, as well as Wind. Wind pops the nighttime, but Zeus is here to deal damage. And actually, they have to be pretty careful on Wind. He takes a lot of hits. Zeus also forced to go back. Radiant overall pretty weak, and look at this. Mars pops the arena, but it's not going to be enough, and actually he may just die in it. The Curse Crown and the Bramble Maze once again to delay this poor Necrophos. And now it's Kabibbles. He's trying to run, but the Skull will catch up with him. And now Fire also has to be careful. Blinky still doesn't have any points in the W, which is not what you want to see. And look at this. Zucifer just feels unstoppable. He goes for Stretchy Arms. Stretchy Arms getting very weak, but he will survive. Spectre is here, has Haunted in, will take out the Disruptor, and Zucifer is very weak, will drop as well. Suddenly looking much better for Dire as they also find BDC, who still has no points in the Shadow Dance, due to the fact that he's level 6 and he will fall. Now Magoo being chased under the tier 1 tower. Big hit from Stretchy Arms does deal a lot of damage, but they won't chase under the tower. You don't have a lot of good long-range damage because this Zeus still has no W. This ability is called Shadow Realm. I should really know that. I used to play Dark Willow quite a bit. But, seeing Rubik get off to maybe not quite the incredible start of his previous game, but still doing very well for himself. BDC finally hits level 7, rightfully gets the point in Shadow Dance. Zucifer as well. Returns to the mid lane, doing well for himself. Almost has a pipe completed. And that's a very dangerous item in this early game because a significant amount of Dire's damage is magical. Dire trying to siege down this tier 1. BDC pretty much unkillable at this stage with the current numbers. Obviously, if 5 heroes rotate with a Haunt, they might be able to do something more, but not just yet. As Zeus completes his Aether Lens. Man, it feels strange not even getting the value point for the stun in the W. Down bottom, though. A big steal from the Rubik will steal that Shadow Dance, which was forced. Nothing of value lost. Oh, whoops, that's a Dark... not a Shadow Dance. Will not steal the Shadow Dance. Nothing of value lost for either team. Blinky, though, with this level 11, he will finally get a point in his W. He has no choice but to level it. Down in the bottom lane, a fight may be brewing here. Slark has left the lane. Don't have any great catch except a good spear, which Bibbles may be able to get. Will get an arena, will pin to the wall, and that is most certainly a dead Jakiro. And a very good Bramble Maze. The stolen Ice Path. This is definitely a Deadly hero as well. Ice Path, another great steal for Rubik, and they'll get that kill easy, easy. With that, likely the tower as well. No part. I have to imagine they're going to go for this. Here they go, hitting the tower. They'll secure it. Now the towers are even once again. Blinky pops that region. Feels so good to do that. But he has a point in his W. You love to see it. So now he will be able to interrupt TPs. That's about it. It's Night Stalker. Going for a fast Aghanim's, not going for the full Spirit Vessel or anything. An interesting decision. I haven't played Night Stalker in a while. Back when I did play him, you wanted to complete either the Vessel or the Solar before you went into the Aghanims. Aghanims is obviously a very good ability, but I don't know if it's a great ability in this game. Worth rushing for him. Right now, Spectre. We're still on last. It's 14 minutes. My apologies. Necro is obviously having the game of his life, but on the flip side, Spectre is also keeping up just fine for the current stage of the game. He's going for that Radiance, so they're kind of slotting in for the late game. BBC. Oh, the push from Ouch Kabibbles! Still going to be a 1 for 3 on the bounties, unfortunately, but still a nifty little play. And they'll also discover that ward thanks to the Slark, who's doing the typical Slark thing, doesn't have sentries. If you're playing Slark, I recommend you carry sentries, because it's money and XP for you. And if you're not slot limited, it's free gold. But obviously, it's not a huge deal.
Scanning for enemies. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The middle, looks fall. Radiant in a good position to push it. Obviously, with it being nighttime, Wind will actually get stunned up pretty well. The Ice Path will come out. And actually, Wind has to be very careful. He's trying to go in. Fire on the backlines. Also taking a lot of damage. He will fall in exchange for the Mars, though I do think, yes, he will tick out. But Wind taking a lot of damage. And look, Spectre's there. Not quite enough to get the kill, though, please, he says. But will not get it. The Fear is good, though. And they'll lose the Dark Willow. Right now, it's a 2 for 2, but a slightly better trade for the side of Dire. And the stolen Reaper's Sight! Radio Foot, give him a chance! You can't do this! I'm streaming! I can't stream a murder, dude! Guys, this guy is insane with his steals. And suddenly, a fight that looked like it was in favor of OOOOOOO will go to favor of Helmets with that one stolen ability. And Spectre doesn't really lose out on anything, is getting up to that Radiance, is kidding for the late game. Nowadays, we tend to see more of a Drum's Manta build up from Spectres, but if you know the game's going to go late, or if you want the game to go late, there's nothing wrong with the Radiance build. It's a classic. As now we see, side of Radiant here, farming up, spreading out, and getting their gold where they can, but Spectre's farming this whole time too. It's stretching arms, just willing to intercept any gang. They'll see the Slark, he'll ping out the ward, have sentries. No. Such a greedy man. Actually, I lied. That's not greedy. If he's greedy, he'd have sentries. Because those sentries give him the money. And look at this, a smoke play from Radiant. It's a good one. They're smoking under where they know a ward is, but Stretchy Arms, he'll be the one to intercept it. He very quickly presses W. He does actually quite a bit of damage to Wind. Wind's taking a ton of damage and will actually drop here, I do think. Indeed he will. Meanwhile, Jakiro also going to fall. Slark trying to get out. Does manage to get a leap up. The stolen Reaper Scythe. Not going to be enough damage. The spear unfortunately misses. Radio Foot manages to steal the leap. Leaps out to try and get something more, but now he's muted up by fire. They'll be forced to back off. But still, that is a smoke interruption into 2 kills for your team. That's exactly what you want on Dire. You're totally happy with that. Like, that's just free fight for you in a situation where you should definitely at least lose the Dark Willow. Now Spectre going to be completing that Radiance very shortly, going to start escalating. Solid timing. Given a slightly rough lane, shipping out now. And look at this. Oh no! Night Stalker just respawned, and I think he's going to fall again. Indeed he will. And this is at night. This is when your Night Stalker's strong. But I think part of the problem is he has 2,200 gold in nothing. Like, the Point Booster and Ogre Axe are nice stats, I guess, but they're not going to win you fights. So you take this hero and you take 2,500 or 2,200 off that network, and he's in line with the supports. And this whole time, now Spectre has the Radiance delivered, is going to start farming even faster. This is honestly pretty scary for the side of VOO. Because, you know, this is a window where they're supposed to be strong. They're making smokes at nighttime, and it's a really good smoke. Like, just to talk about it a bit, to know that there's a ward right here, because Slark knew there was a ward, and then to immediately smoke through it as a team is a really good smoke. But it just doesn't connect. They lose the smoke fight. Because, I mean, Dark Willow is one of the harder targets to get on top of due to that Shadow Realm. But still, it feels bad to lose heroes and get nothing. As, oh no, Wind, not again! Unfortunately, the Pounce will miss, but Wind is just gonna fall! Oh no, but Spectre actually trying to get the last bit of damage. I don't think it's gonna be enough. In fact, the pipe will be there to save him. Spectre ults out, goes down bottom, has to be exceptionally careful, and actually with the illusion will get the kill, and is now going back in despite the Reaper Scythe being available. Spectre will fall, will die. Rubik gets the steal on it though. No, it's a Death Pulse, and he will also fall to the Slark, so no opportunity to use it. Blinky tries to get the Lightning Bolt and will do so. BDC has to be careful, gets feared away. The stun, or the W, misses from the Mars. It's unfortunate that you lost the Spectre. Spectre worth a lot of money there. And I think overall, Radiant is happy with that fight.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Heath, look at that. Does go a major way in favor of the Radiant. It's just so aggressive. I mean, yeah, I understand why. You have a good fight, and you say, okay, I'm going in. But unfortunately, in this situation, it just wasn't quite the play. Did end up costing Spectre his life, and setting back his farm, more importantly. The Zeus, man. The Zeus has Zaggins. Zeus is far ahead. He's winning out on this, because while, you know, Radiant's having to recuperate from that fight, he's been farming. And Slark is getting pretty powerful, going for that Silver Edge. An excellent item against Spectre to disable that dispersion, make her so much less tanky, take out that pure damage, so much less damage. Look at this, Radio Foot, and ouch kabibbles. They're going on to Zeucifer, but I don't think it's going to work out. Mars likely to fall here. Very tanky, though, with the wand charges, too. Staying alive, gets the Mars Arena down, and this actually could suddenly be very bad for Radiant. They do manage to pick up the kill, but now, look at this, Spectre back in the fight, dealing quite a bit of damage, but they have to be careful on Dr. Changstein. Obviously, there's no Reaper Scythe for about 20 seconds. Radio Foot, too, taking a lot of damage, but he has stolen some good spells to keep himself alive. I do think he's going to fall here, though. But now, the Haunt comes back out. I don't think there's going to be any follow-up, but instead, actually, Slark will fall, I believe, down bottom, and Spectre will try and come back, and with the Zeus ulti, that's 4 dead! Now it's all up to Zeucifer. The fear is there. He can't get out with the TP. Dr. Changstein has to be very careful, though. That is still a threatening man with that Reaper Scythe, and he will not go for it. Indeed, I think they're likely to let him walk out here. Be so careful, Changstein. He has the Reaper Scythe. If he drops it, though, Zeucifer will get gone on. And look who's here. It's the Mars. The Mars, ready to go. Ready to get the blink. Ready to get the pushback. Be careful! No! Spectre's gonna fall once again! You're playing on the edge of your seat, and normally it's such a good idea, but in this case it doesn't work out. The zap's there. Look at how tanky Zucifer is without the Mars to deal with him. And I don't even get to check what happened to the Slark because it was such a delayed engagement. But I think he died down bottom to the Zeus or something. Yeah, that's what it looks like happening. Man, that fight is the recap. Oh, the recap is going to show us everything. Look at that. Zeus is getting even further in. I've got to say, that fight looked so bad for Dire until the Zeus ultimate just got 3 kills. Blinky, he hit R, and it was insane. You know, and I don't at all mean that in a patronizing way. It was the man won the fight with 1 button. It looked like it was going to be like a 5 for 3, and then he just or I don't think it's quite a 5 for 3. I think it was like a 3 for 1 is what it looked like in favor of Radiant. Like 3 kills for Radiant, 1 for Dire, and Blinky just gets 3 more kills with 1 button press. It's just insane. And now Radiofoot has a Blink Dagger. Look, he's got 2 shared tangos, too. It's tough for Rubik because you have a Night Stalker. And Night Stalker, very good at silencing these heroes like Rubik and Dark Willow. But man, I mean, that's a defining moment in these games, right? That's a moment where the game can start rapidly, because that was right near Tier 2 as well. So if Radiant win, they get a Tier 2, they get the Outpost, they start securing more map control. Now Dr. Changstein, though. Still ahead of the Slark. Getting up to that Manta, and that Manta will be a big timing for him. But he has to be careful. He's obviously he's strong, but he is playing a little too cocky around this Necrophos, because he has just gotten time and again baited a little too deep. So I would like to see him not walk into the Necro with 200 health. But it's one of those things where you do the same thing, right? Like if I'm playing, I'm like, ooh, I want to be in XP range. I want to be in gold range. Maybe with a dagger I can get the kill. And you step up a bit too far. Look at this, though. Radiant have invaded the jungle once again. Actually, they might find Changstein. Or will they? Oh no, they do. Changstein in a lot of trouble. The Zeus ultimate comes out. They know where Spectre is, and this is definitely going to be a dead Spectre. I don't think any amount of saves is going to come out. At least Spectre will not have that increased respawn time, though. And actually, despite what's going on, the Slow is in very deep, unable to really get any kill. Will pounce out of the arena. So the arena is forced, but Spectre does have the buyback haunt, and that is a powerful ability. Dire, though, it looks like they will elect to give up this Tier 2 tower. And I don't know. I don't know which way this game's going. Radiant's making such aggressive moves, and it seems like everything's on a knife edge. Now, obviously, this will start to tilt the favors in favor of Radiant. As they take out this tower, they'll start to get more and more map control. They'll get these outposts. It's looking better for them. If I had to guess, Dota Plus, I'm going to assume is still favoring Dire because of the Spectre factor at like a 60-40. 75-25. Blinky, no! You're just standing there. Oh, the 4-step, though. It's good. BDC has to be very careful, but the glimpse is there. Zeus isn't going to be able to get out. Spectre's here with the Haunt. It's going to do a lot of damage. They will lose the Zeus finally, but they're actually taking a lot of losses themselves. Zeus will buy back. Does have that global presence, as now it looks like Dire are going to try and pursue. Radiofoot is going to get some damage, but I don't think they're going to be able to do too much chasing here. Unless Ouch Kabibble can make a big play. He has a Blink Dagger in 10 seconds, but he has the Spear Throw available now if he elects to use it. The Mars Arena's there. The buyback from Jakiro is also there. The lift actually prevents the Spear from connecting, and oh no, look at this Spectre taking a lot of damage. Has to be very careful. As we've said before, and now Dark will go down. Dire in full retreat mode. And oh no, Changstein is caught up once again. Zucifer, though, looking for something. Has to be exceptionally careful, though. Taking a lot of damage. Meanwhile, they're also looking for the Zeus. He did buyback. This would be a dieback, and that would be disastrous for him, and he will fall. But Spectre will live. And we'll just immediately return to farming. But suddenly, Suddenly, Radiant getting more and more and more, little by little, taking advantages. And now they look...
Radiant structures are fortified.
Sorry, now they look like they're in a commanding position to win this game.
Is under attack.
I don't want to be too hasty, though. There is still a Spectre. Spectre who's farming, but who has sort of begun to struggle getting those last hits, and does have to be careful here. Look at this. No detection. Changstein, you're going to get gone on. The spear is there to prevent the latch. And actually, Wynn's taking a lot of damage. I think Rubik is likely to fall here. Sitting in this damage. Radiofoot being very, very careful. Won't die. And actually, Magoo will take a lot of damage. Get pushed back once. Ultimately, nothing lost. But Amar's ultimate was expelled. And that is a big ultimate. Spectre does have to be careful. Hell, Changstein has that Manta. He is quite vulnerable. This is kind of the unfortunate bit of the Spectre Radiance. It makes it much harder for him to fight. You know, the advantage of the Drum's Radiance is you have it, you know, at like 22, 23 minutes, and then suddenly you're able to fight with it. But currently, Changstein is just forced into last hitting to get to that Manta, to get to the point where he can really fight. Now, this Manta for a Spectre is a huge timing, don't get me wrong. And of course he gets a Titan Sliver. Look at this. Oh no, he's running into the enemy team. He's going to buy the Manta. He's going to run away. The ping is there from Blue, but unfortunately, Blue is on Radiant, so may or may not know, and it looks like this is probably going to be 4 bounties for the side of Radiant. That Spectre goes for Basher. Next item, a solid choice. Gotta get that lockdown. Rubik going for the Aghanims once again, electing not to go for the Aether Lens. It seems like that's just a standard choice for him. I suppose you do have a cast range talent at 15. And the Aghanims does feel very good on Rubik, so I'm not super surprised. It's not what I build, but it's something that I might change in my build because having an Aghanims feels so good. And this man is clearly an excellent Rubik player. Though finds a quickening charm. Now that's a good item for your Zeus. He's currently electing to go for the Essence Ring. Not at all a bad decision. Roshan will fall. Not very surprising. They're not looking into test. It looks like, oh no, they might find Stretchy Arms, who will go up onto the high ground, but that will not save you. And actually, they try and go on the illusion. And that's a pretty unfortunate Reaper Scythe. A couple of these Reaper Scythes have come out a little early from Zeustifer, which is unfortunate given that the extra respawn time is very important. Now this game slowly feels like it's tilting in favor of OOOOOOO. They've come back from a tough game. They're coming back. Spectre, though, is still farming. Not as fast as you'd maybe hope your Spectre's farming, but keeping up with the Slark. And as long as that pace continues, I think you're okay. They just have to make sure they don't lose too many objectives here. One lane of racks is probably recoverable, but 2 feels pretty rough. And obviously, the later the game goes, the less the second lane is going to matter. But right now, they're not really at any risk. They're free to farm out. The Ob Ward is fading before Spectre gets a new vision of it. Real quick, I just want to take a look. Get tired. I don't like buybacks on this team. Please, don't follow the illusions. But yeah, Spectre's still farming, just fine. Ouch, Kabibbles. Getting to that pipe, a solid pickup for their team. Will help Changstein be able to play a bit more aggressive into this Necro. And the problem is it is kind of hard to get the kills onto this Necro Slark duo. The rest of the team, though, they're killable for sure. Sure, Night Stalker has a lot of natural tankiness. And we'll have a lot more with this BKB, but they'll still die. And the supports are basically food for Spectre. As long as Spectre does not get just glimpsed by the Disruptor, which is a real possibility. Right now, though, unfortunately, Radiant not making the best usage of this Aegis. Kind of just farming their side of the map, which isn't really what you want to see. Definitely want to be seeing a bit more aggressive play. Oh no, stretching arms. Oh no, it's Blinky that might be in trouble. Does manage to get the Force Staff out. Will pop the Shadow Dance just to be safe. Dire should know they need to retreat. Radiant in the area. Spectre currently waiting in base. Also not saving for buyback. It feels so scary. Like, I just feel like it's scary to waste an. Oh no, this is actually turning into a fight. And look at this fire though, is getting stunned up. Changxing has to be a bit careful, taking a lot of damage. He doesn't have buyback, so if he drops, he will drop permanently, and indeed he will. He's going to die. And now Radiofoot's the one being chased down. Blinky trying to do the damage that he can. They will manage to pop the Aegis, and a good fear though is going to do quite a bit. But now Blinky silenced up. He's going to die. No buybacks. I think this might just be game. I think that might just be the game. It took a second to read chat, and then the fight started. And then, now, look at this. So real quick, while we wait for this, Xtalis asks, what's the spec building that Manta for? I believe is the question. And yes, there's not any amazing purges this game, although there is Clumsy Net, and I'm unsure if it purges the pets, but it's just such a good damage item. It gives you everything you need on Spectre. It gives you the stats, and it gives you 2 more illusions, which benefit from both Dispersion and Desolate. So that's why Manta's pretty core on any Spectre build, regardless of the purge. But it looks like Dire are going to hold their racks. But oh no, unfortunately, Darkwill taking a lot of damage. It is a very nice ultimate from Ouch Kabibbles. But it's not going to actually result in anything, I don't think, as Zucifer just wanders around the middle. Spectre taking a lot of damage. Unfortunately, locked in, will get Reaper Scythe, and Mars also to fall. And this is the danger of having no buybacks. There's nothing you can do in this situation. And I've just turned this game. I feel like the game might just be over at this stage. No. Zeus trying to run away. Not in vision yet, but if Fire manages to get a Q off. Good, no, he puts it on a cooldown. We won't see the glimpse back play yet, but this is definitely 3 lanes of racks, I do imagine. I don't think you're going to be able to stop this. You don't have a Fortify. Let's see. They do have a repair kit. They have to put it on the melee racks right now. Rubik has to make this maneuver. You can't survive against the Megas. Indeed, Rubik will walk up. Will he place it? No, he's holding on to it. He's still holding on to it. A big arena on the 4. It's very good. With the fear, they're going to start walking into it. It's a powerful combo, but they're not having a whole lot of damage here. BDC will manage to take out the Nimbus, and they'll get the melee racks. And they'll leave. That's Megas. Unfortunately, the repair kit just doesn't come out. And that's the power of that Reaper Sight. The additional, 35-second respawn time. Spectre would have been up. And now they have to hold against Megas. And this feels like a mountain to climb. But Helmets haven't given up yet. Elimination on the line. They know that they have to fight to the end on this one. Roshan, not up. Still a minute until the respawn. But it's feeling pretty hopeless. And this is what I have to talk about. obviously I'm harping on about it, but, you know, when you have tier 2s down and you're fighting back here at like 35 minutes and no one on your team has buyback, you have no one to blame but yourself. You know, and that sounds harsh, but it's the reality. If you fight without buybacks, you make the conscious decision that you can lose the game in one fight. But still ready for a miracle. The one thing that Dire have going for them is they do have good defenders. Zeus is excellent at defending against Mega Creeps. He's going for the Octarine. Solid choice. Spectre has the Radiance. Will pay off in this case here. They have good D-push from Ouchkabibbles and from the Rubik. So they do have ways to hold the line, and eventually maybe we might see the Mega comeback. But at this stage, I'd say like 99% chance we're not. Look at this. Dota Plus agrees with me on that one. And the Aegis going to respawn in 50 seconds. Be able to get that second Aegis in the game. A Haunt just to scout. That's a long cooldown. I assume they feel like they need the Zeus ultimate more for damage. And look at this. Radiant are positioning for a fight. Chang's team has to be very careful. Blink in from fire to glimpse back. Ouchkabibbles in a lot of trouble. Wynn's taking quite a bit of damage. He has to be careful himself. But unfortunately, Ouchkabibbles is facing the wrong way. So far, no one has gone down. The initiation will ultimately result in nothing. As both teams will brawl. And both teams will survive. The Zeus ultimate used not a huge cooldown. Well, okay. Yeah. A huge cooldown, but I don't know if it's quite the biggest deal. I feel like he desperately needs this quickening charm at this stage. Obviously, it's good on Rubik, but you need the extra Arc Lightnings. As Roche is up, the Chi's available. Radiant will take it, I'm sure. Yeah, but yeah, the extra Arc Lightnings feel very good. And please save for buyback. Look at this. They're learning. They're doing it. They desperately need to continue doing it. I'm worried Spectre's just going to buy out an item. They scout the Roche pit, but there's nothing you're going to get out of this. I don't know why I hit that button. I know the hotkeys. Oh yes, because I need to reorganize it. Actually, you know what? No, I don't care about net worth anymore. We're looking at buybacks. No! Spectre, why? Spectre has bought out. Is buying out for an Abyssal Blade. It's such... So when it comes to buying out in a situation like this, the question is, does your buyback matter? In the case of Spectre, the answer is absolutely yes. It's not like this game is lost when Spectre dies the first time. Spectre actually hasn't even finished the Abyssal Blade. Not even really that close to it, in fact. This is a buyout just for stats. The Spectre will haunt, get some good damage. Will go in onto fire. Has to be very careful, though. Wynn trying to get out. Ouchkabibble does have the arena. It's pretty big. They'll capture the Night Stalker. I don't think he's going to get out of this one alive this time. But meanwhile, Rubik will get popped. Ouchkabibble also to fall. And it looks like on the back lines, Changstein trying to survive. But I think he's going to fall. It seems so dangerous. Just go up onto the high ground. Don't chase for the Disruptor, man. He types no in chat. He's still going in. A good pin. But now, look who's coming in. It's the Slark, and he has high damage. He will get the Jakiro, but that's going to be it. And actually, BDC has to be a bit careful. I do believe he still has the Aegis, as I'm unable to click on him. Yes, he has Aegis and Cheese. There is no buyback on Spectre. Meanwhile, the Mega Creeps are sieging the base. They'll lose the Mars as well. I do think this is probably... No, this is definitely GG at this stage. Unfortunate, man. Unfortunate for Helmets. It looked so good for them. They just didn't save the buybacks. And unfortunately, Spectre... Vanguard is not worth your buyback, right? Like, the Abyssal, maybe you make a case for it. Like, I can see a case being made for Abyssal, but not... You don't buy out for a Vanguard. A Vanguard's not going to save you. A buyback at least gives you a chance. And with that, ooh, with a beautiful comeback, I should say. It looked pretty bad for them for a long while in this game. They'll take the game. And with that, that's the series. And what a series. All 3 games, just madness. The perfect Dota. I say madness, I don't mean sloppy. But just very aggressive, very hard to predict. You know, in some of my previous games, it's always been a case of, if this draft starts to snowball, they'll win the game. And when you have 2 of those drafts playing against each other, it's good Dota, but it's not hype Dota. But this game is all down to the team fights and how they take them. And unfortunately, part of taking team fights is saving buyback. To get back into team fights, which... it's a shame. But, very well played by OOOOOOO. I don't want to take away from their play. I don't want to take away from how well they did. Fire had some incredible glimpses. You know, BDC did work. The Silver Edge pickup is so intelligent. I didn't even think about it during the draft, right? But the Silver Edge pickup counters both the Mars and the Spectre. It's really good, and it gets you into fights. Zeusfer obviously did a fantastic job on the Reaper side. A couple of them he missed, but honestly, the important ones he got every time. And Win just created chaos, as a Night Stalker does. And Magoo had the ice pits. Magoo had the damage. He's that like the silent killer of the supports. But man, I'm trying to think of who I'd give MVP of the series as a whole. I have to probably say Zeusfer. Played really good in all 3 games. Played excellent in all 3. I want to give shout-outs, though, to Radiofoot. Despite being on the losing team, his Rubik performance was amazing in both games. Alex Kabibbles had some huge spearbacks in Game 2. Those 2 played insane Dota as well. But anyways, that was OOOOOO versus Helmeton. I hope you all enjoyed the cast as much as I enjoyed the games. And I'll see you all as soon as I can for the cast of the whatever game I cast next. Maybe I'll have a co-caster for that one. We'll find out when it happens. But for now, you all have a wonderful evening. I will see you all later.